Hello, hello, crafty friends. Welcome to my Clever Creations Live. I am Lori Longwell, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm coming to you from the very hazy, smoky, golden glow of the southern tier of New York State. Sadly, with the wildfires from Canada, the smoke is coming down and hitting a lot of the areas below Canada. So very sorry for our Canadian friends, and I just hope that, you know, those fires get contained and we get some winds and things down this area to kind of blow some of that off. But it's been very weird, very goldeny and extremely hazy today. So the air quality is awful. So we didn't spend much time outside, and we did put on some air conditioners just for a short time because you could smell it when we just have window air conditioning, and we could kind of smell it with that. So we've dealt more with fans today. But anyway, irregardless, here we are. We're going to do some crafting. I hope everyone has had a good week so far. So I have a new fun fold, not a new fun fold, but it's just a little variation on a fun fold of an easel card. And I saw this on the page by Karen Titus, Stamping on the Back Porch. And I was just kind of doing some scrolling recently. I save a lot of different videos and ideas and things, and so I was looking and I saw hers and I thought, oh, that looks like a really easy, fun card. And then trying to decide what products to use. I have not touched the Violet Dreams product suite, so I decided that that's the one that I needed to use. It is an online exclusive. It just became available in July for customers, and sorry, typical me, I forgot to go in and get the product number for the whole suite, but I will add that after I'm done. But there's a lot that goes with this product suite, and as always, you can get the pieces that you need. But when I turn you down to the table, we'll take a look at it and talk about the different elements of the suite of products. Just real quickly, a couple little things. As I did just mention, customers can now order the July online exclusives. There were some great new products released this month, and in there is a mix of things. So you're going to find some things like this framed violets, or I think the product suite is Violet Dreams, but anyway, the whole Violet suite. But there's also Halloween, some Halloween products, because a lot of people like to get a jump on that for classes and different things. So there's some Halloween product available. There's a few fall things, as well as Christmas holiday kind of stuff. So for those of you who love to get your stuff a little bit early so that you can get working on things, whether you're making cards to send to everybody, your friends and family, or maybe you are gonna do little gifts, you know, just all kinds of things. So all that stuff is out there. The other thing is the join offer. I'm not going to go into great detail about that. They have changed the process. They've streamlined it a little bit. You still pay the $100. You get $125 in free product right now. And you also, new demonstrators get what's called a welcome box. So instead of Stampin' Up! Just sending you a couple little miscellaneous things, they've made an awesome welcome box. We're not, at least at this point in time, the contents of the welcome box are not being revealed because we want our not our customers, excuse me. We want our new demonstrator friends to have a great surprise experience when they get their new welcome box. So I think it's pretty smart on Stampin' Up's part to do this. So I'm really hoping that maybe I'll have a friend or two who would like to join and get their welcome box, because I think it's kind of cool. Plus, I would just love to have more friends on my Clever Creations crew, on my team. Always looking for people who would love to jump on and join. So as I always tell you, just reach out to me if you have questions, would like to talk about it, because I'm happy to sit down with you and chit chat. So I think that's it for announcements. I'm going to turn you down to the table. Let's take a look at this gorgeous violet suite of products. So hold on just a second. And let me see if I can get you down here. I do need to make some adjustments with my lights. Let's see. Oh, I think that one's good. Sorry. Kind of all over the place with that, but I'm just trying to find the best light. It's really hard. I get a little bit shadowy down here, so I try to move it up a little bit. All right, so the stamps and dies are called Framed Violets, and it's just so pretty. I think I said something early on. I don't know if I said it on a video or anywhere, but I remember my grandma Cooper. She loved violets, and it seems to me that I recall her having quite a few violets that she grew, little house plants. And I have tried. I had a friend a few years ago, actually it was a team member, Barb, gave me a violet, and I kept that thing alive for a long time, and then all of a sudden it just was not doing very well, and it was no longer alive, and I felt terrible because it was a gift as well as a little house plant that I just wanted to keep going. I do well outside. I don't do well with my house plants. I recently had another friend give me a violet. I still have it. It's beautiful, but it doesn't have any flowers. It's got a lot of beautiful greenery, and I bought the special violet food. So I'm trying. I don't have those pretty grow lights, but anyway, I'm trying. So this violet set just kind of spoke to me, reminded me of my grandma, and I just think violets are very sweet. Just a nice little flower, just a pretty little flower. So the stamp set, we've got some very simple little sentiments. I appreciate you, sending love, take care, happy birthday to you. Then we've got the stamp, the little violets with the leaves, just a single flower, extra little greenery. And then there is the stamps that do where did my stamps go? I put them all back. I had them on blocks earlier and I forgot I put them back. So there's two stamps. So there's one stamp that stamps this scalloped outline. So I stamped everything just so you could see them. I mean, I know they're here, but I stamp them so you get the real size. And then there's, it's one stamp. I forgot. It's two dies, one stamp. So there's one stamp, stamps the scallop little edge, as well as that really fine line there. So you could cut this out as one solid piece with the die. Or you can cut it out. There's two pieces to the dies. So there's the large scallop, which would cut all of this out if you were to put that on there and cut out the full image. Or you can put this one on the inside and cut out the oval on the inside. So just two different ways you can do that. Then there's dies for the leaves, a couple violets. There's a die that cuts out this image and a die that cuts out this image. There's not one for this. However, there's a die that just cuts out a little stem so you can build your own flowers. And I'm going to show you those. So I stamped and die cut a bunch of stuff earlier just so you could get a better idea. I'm going to pop those in there because I lose everything lately. So here's that die. Now did the two pieces so you can see. If you wanted this, maybe you wanted your frame a stamped color, or you could just do it on colored cardstock, cut out the little scalloped frame part, and then you could cut out the inside white or a lighter color so you can stamp on it if you wanted to do 2 steps. So the reason why this is here and the happy birthday is because I stamped this just like it is in the packaging. So I just inked this whole thing and put it down and stamped it. So I left that in there, and actually I love it. And I'm going to do a card that's going to have that on there, very similar to that. So there's that piece. Then I stamped and die cut a bunch of these pieces. So let me just zoom you in a little bit. Hi, ladies. Those of you who are saying hello. That's what happens when you clean. Exactly, Lisa. And when you put stuff away, like your stamps back in the stamp packaging, and then you say, oh my gosh, where are my stamps? Yeah, I hear you. I am the queen of where did it go? And even more so lately, I feel very scatterbrained. I got a lot going on, and I just feel very, very scattered. So I'm just going to show you some of these die cut pieces here. Trying to get all of them out so you get an idea. Beautiful, beautiful suite of products. Oh, and I need to do this. I need to make this violet because it's just so cute. All right. So here's the 2. You can stamp them. Then I colored them. Make sure you can see that on there. Okay, good. Then you cut out, there's the separate little die for the violet, the little flower heads. So I did them in a bunch of different shades of the purples, and I even did one in hydrangea hue. Then there's the 3 dies that cut out the little leaves, and I love the detailing in all these. So check that out. There's lots of nice, it's got some little cutting in there, so it just gives it a little more detail. And the same with the flowers. There's some nice little cuts. Whoops! Woo! You were really, I was really close in there, wasn't I? So there's lots of nice little detail with that as well. And then the flower images, I love that there's all the veining in the leaves as well as some detail in the flowers. So they're very easy. You can color them. I colored this with blends. I used Fresh Freesia, Light Highland Heather, and I put just a little bit of yellow in the center. But there's just so much you could do. I mean, some of you are probably amazing artists with your coloring and could do so much. And then this one, I was just having a little bit of fun, colored it with a hydrangea hue. I watched somebody the other night, and I cannot remember who the heck it was. I just kind of caught her video, and she was doing some coloring of, I believe it was flowers. And at first I wasn't sure, but I kind of like it. So what she did was she didn't color all of her flower in. She left some white area, and I probably should have tried that with the leaf as well. But I thought I kind of liked it. It just gives it its own kind of a natural look or whatever, a little bit more highlighting or something. But anyway, just something a little bit different. But we're going to play with some of these, and I really need to build this flower. So this is what you would do. You could put as many or as few. I don't think I can get all of them on there. Maybe. I think I would do that. And that. Maybe tuck that. Or, well, I'll show you the paper in a second. So you get the idea. You can build up that flower, add maybe some leaves behind it. So that would be really cute, and maybe we'll do that. We'll see what I get to when I get ready to build my little designing on my card. Now let's look at the beautiful paper, you guys. This paper is absolutely just gorgeous. Gorgeous, rich, beautiful. And then there's some little lighter patterns, but this dark one is just right up. So anyway, the paper's called Violet Dream Specialty Designer Series paper. The featured colors: Darling Duckling, Fresh Freesia, Gorgeous Grape, Hydrangea Hue, Peaceful Pine, Secret Sea. And then, of course, as I always say, you're going to find some colors that you could use because there's just little variations in the color, and you could really pull in some other ones. So isn't this one beautiful? It's the Secret Sea is in the background. And then if you can see it on the camera, there's little teeny tiny little lighter colored dots in the background on that Secret Sea. And then we've got the beautiful flowers with all those different pinks and purpley kind of colors. So there's not only violets, there's also this sweet little flower over here. I'm not sure what it is, but it sure is cute. Now, the dies do not cut out this piece of paper. At first I thought, ooh, maybe those dies are going to at least cut this out. They don't. But I think if you really wanted to, or even just take a shape, maybe an oval or something, if you wanted to kind of do that. But you could also try to fussy cut. You know me, I like to fussy cut, but I just broke this paper out today, so I have not done much of anything with this paper other than I made one card. So on the back side, we've got the Fresh Freesia background, and then some little teeny tiny little flowers just sort of scattered all over that paper. So that's real pretty. This is another one. And this has like a diamond pattern back here, if you can see that. The background, I think, is Hydrangea Hue. It's extremely, extremely light. There again, I think you could get away with maybe something a little bit different. I don't know if balmy blue, but anyway, then these cute little violets here in the triangles. There's a couple different ones. The larger bouquet, and then this one, and then this one. So I think there's 1, 2, 3 different little bouquets within this piece of paper. And the back side of this is Peaceful Pine. So that's real pretty. I love the diamond pattern there. That's very nice. This one I think is absolutely beautiful as well. Again, the Hydrangea Hue, I believe, is supposed to be the background. And again, these all have the little teeny tiny dots, little speckles in the background of the paper. And of course, all the beautiful flowers on here. And then on the back is a striped pattern. I think it's supposed to be Fresh Freesia, but I'm almost thinking Bubble Bath as well. It's very light, kind of a pinky purpley sort of color. So I think you could get away with doing a few different things. Here we have, I don't know if this is supposed to be Fresh Freesia, or I would say Highland Heather myself, with the little flowers on it. And then the back side, we've got that diagonal stripe pattern again, the Hydrangea Hue. Real pretty. And do we have one more? 2, 3, 4. Oh, yep, 5. Then there's this one, the Highland Heather. Again, has the diamond pattern in a much smaller scale, and the little bouquets. And then on the back side is Secret Sea with a little Swiss dot on here. But just in keeping with that whole pattern of the paper, it just looks very textured, because this, although it's super subtle with that Secret Sea back here, in person I can really see the little darker little dots, and then of course the white dots, the little Swiss dots on there. So that's beautiful. And then in addition to the cardstock, there are 2 sheets of die cuts. Really fun with these. So, you know, essentially, if you didn't want to stamp and color and do all of that, you could just get the paper And these all punch out. Like I said, they're all little die cuts, so they're going to punch out. You've got 4 of these bouquets, so 8 altogether because there's 2 sheets. A few scattered of the different colors. We've got hydrangea, the fresh freesia, the highland, and the more into the gorgeous grape. And then there's these little teeny itsy bitsy little flowers, the leaves. You do have some black and white images. You could leave them black and white. You could color them. And then you have these frames. So they pop out, and there's a frame, and then there's a little oval inside of this one. Then this has the Secret Sea frame, and then inside is this little piece, the white with the white on it. And then very similar to this one, we've got one in hydrangea hue. Excuse me, a little tickle. So anyway, like I was saying, if you really just didn't want to have to fuss with stamping and doing all that coloring, I mean, you could color these if you wanted to, but you could get away with just using the designer series paper and make some really beautiful cards and creations. So that would be really fun. So that's the paper. Then in addition to the paper and the stamps and dies, there is also a spool of ribbon, which I haven't even opened up yet. I think it's fresh freesia. If I can get my scissors in here without cutting my ribbon. I struggle with this. Anybody else struggle opening up these? I appreciate the packaging so our ribbon doesn't get yucky, but I always struggle getting that plastic off there. So this is a really nice satiny ribbon. I think it's going to probably tie very well. It's about 1/4 inch, I believe. Yep, 1/4 inch. And I like that it has the stitching on the side of the ribbon. So that's real pretty. Gorgeous ribbon. We'll keep that because we're probably going to want to play with some ribbon. And the one thing that I had not gotten out yet and meant to put them on my sample card and forgot are these gorgeous, I have 3 packs of them, you guys, because I fell in love with these embellishments. Oh my gosh. They're called adhesive backed blooms. And they are just so beautiful. I can't believe I forgot to put them on my sample. I'll put them on when we're moving along here. Look at these beauties. So there's 3 colors, the fresh freesia, well, Highland Heather, that's probably fresh freesia, and then the white or kind of clear, but they look a little bit white. Aren't they beautiful? And then in the inside of each flower, there's like a little teeny tiny rhinestone, but they've got a little glitter and shine to them. Super cute. Just really, really, really very pretty. So I'm going to leave those out because number 1, I need to put them on my sample card. And number 2, I don't want to forget to use them because I am a little bit scattered. All right, so the card that I saw from Karen, like I mentioned earlier, was called Stand-Up Easel Card. And now I don't remember. It was something easel. It's just a little bit different than some of the easel cards I've done. So it will stand up like this, and I'll put it on its side so you can see it. So it will stand up in front of you. It's got a little fold here, and then you lock your front piece down in your whatever we decide to put on the front here. So I just thought this was a pretty card. I might have to alter this piece. I'm thinking it just needs to be a tad bit longer. It will sit, and this kind of folds down. I think I just thought it will kind of stick up if you work with it a little bit. But anyway, we can play with it. I just think it's really pretty. So I did use one of the die cuts from the paper pack, And then this flips up. You can put your little sentiment in here. If you wanted to put a little something extra here, you certainly could. So lots of creative opportunity with this layout, in my opinion. So we're going to have a play with it and just see. I keep bending this because when I lift this up, my flower's a little bit taller than the edge of this, so it keeps bending it. So for future reference, I would probably not put something up above here so that it doesn't get bent. But regardless, just kind of cute. So, and I've done lots of easel cards before, but this was just a little bit, the layout, the way she did it was just a little bit different. So, all right. I grabbed a bunch of paper, wasn't really sure what I was going to do, so I'm going to try to come up with an idea. And I think the first one I'm going to do, where are my directions? I did print them off. Karen had a free PDF, so I'm not sharing something that I'm not supposed to. It was free to print off. So your card base is pretty much a standard card base. You can use a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper and get 2 of these card bases out of it, because you're going to cut it in half at 5.5 to get your 2 card bases. So what I'm going to do, because I could make 2 out of this piece of paper, I'm going to go ahead and score it to get my 2 pieces of my 2 card bases, excuse me. So with my 8.5 by my 8.5 inch side up at the top of my paper trimmer, or it could be down at the bottom. Either way, I usually work from the top of mine, but either way, whichever way you work with it, I just need to remember my scoring blade is at the top. My cutter is down here. I'm going to go in at 2 1/8 inch and score. And then I'm going to go up to 4 1/4. And I'm going to score at 4 1/4. So basically, you're scoring your piece of paper in half at 4 1/4, and then half of that is 2 1/8. So that's what's going to give us that little easel fold at the bottom of the card. Then I'm going to turn it with the 11.5, 8.5 by 11 inch piece going across my bottom, and I'm going to cut that at 5.5. Now I have 2 card bases, so I'm going to put one off to the side, and we're going to use the white one. Now I'm going to do my panel, because I think I'm going to use this piece of paper. So I had a piece of cardstock available. Now Karen's directions called for this panel right here to be 3.5 by 7, but I'm going to make it 3.5 by 7.5 because I think I want it a little bit longer. I felt like it should just be longer, so I'm going to cut it in half, or excuse me, I'm going to cut it down to 3.5, and then rather than 7, I'm going to cut it at 7.5. And then I need to score it at 3 3. Oh, is that right? 3. I'm going to fold it right in half because I'm having a moment. 3 3/4. Oh yeah, 3 3/4 is 7.5. Duh. I was having a moment. So I'm going to try that instead of the 7, and let's see how it works, if that's going to be okay. All right, so I have that. I have my card base. So this gets folded this direction. then up. So now that's going to sit like that. Then I will put my little panel on the front, or excuse me, the inside there, and then it'll click into the front when I get my little piece on here. All right, so I'm going to cut my designer series paper. Yeah, Julie, they are cute. If I'm missing anybody jumping in there, I apologize. Got a little wrapped up in what I got going on here. So I think for this panel right here, I am going to put this paper. So this needs to be 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4. Now, depending on what you're, you could use any paper, obviously. You can mix and match. You could do whatever your pleasure for doing your paper. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you could do all the same on your 3 panels, because you want to do one here and one here, because you are going to see that when you open up that card. Or you could mix and match. So depending what you've got going on here. I'm going to take a look and see what I might want to use. I don't think I like that, and that's a little way too busy. So I might use the back side of this, that green, that Peaceful Pine. I think I'm going to use that. So I know that this is 2 1/8. So my paper is going to be 1 7/8 because I want it just 1/4 of an inch. So 1 7/8 inch wide, and then each one will be 5 1/4. So I'm going to do 2 pieces of this. So 5 1/4, and then 5 1/4. All right, we've got that. Let's start with this. Let's get this much done, and then we'll work from there. Let's adhere my paper. How's everybody faring in this heat wave? And is that Highland Heather? I believe it is. It said Fresh Freesia was one of the coordinating papers, but I can't remember if it mentioned it must mention Highland Heather, because to me, Hydrangea Hue, it does not mention Highland Heather, but to me, this is Highland Heather. Where's my light Highland Heather? I really feel that that's Highland Heather. It mentions the Fresh Freesia, as I said, but as always, we can mix and match we can always find other colors that are going to coordinate. Actually, that's really pretty. But I think with my white background, I need to do the Peaceful Pine. But this would be pretty on another. If my base maybe was the Highland or Fresh Freesia and use that other piece of paper, that'd be really pretty. But I'm going to use the Peaceful Pine. This isn't exactly on the fly, but it's almost on the fly, because although I had the idea for this, I did some stuff today. I had a couple granddaughters this morning, and then my granddaughter Daisy, who had a birthday yesterday. I took her, we went birthday shopping, and she wanted to buy clothes. The girl loves her clothes. She is a girly girl. So we went and did that. We got a little lunch and we had some fun. So, needless to say, my crafting my planning did not happen until late this afternoon. So, okay, here's where I got to figure this out. So I'm just going to show you. So I made this a little bit bigger, and it comes way down, and that's probably too much. So maybe Karen was right. So this one is 7 inches, so it's scored at 3.5. So this little panel here is 3.5. And I'm thinking actually that does work better. So I'm gonna cut this off 1/4 inch, right? So it's 3.5. Yep. So I need to cut off 1/4 inch. So I should have left it at the 7. I just thought I would see what it looked like a little bit longer, but I think it's too long. So I'm going to score that real good. All right. So once I decide what I'm going to put on here, then that will get attached inside of there. So now this is where I need to think, Lori. So I think what I'd like to do, I really wanted to use this oval because it's just so pretty. Let's take a look at that. And I'll stamp another one because I didn't stamp this very good, but I just want to play with it for a second. I do think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do this, but I may do the oval in, I should do the peaceful pine, maybe, just to be something different, and then do that in the white. And actually, I think I'm going to keep this one. I'm just going to use this. I am just going to create a new oval on the outside. All right, stamps. Need this little cutie pie there, a block. Oh, it just fits on this block. So now with your photopolymer stamps, a lot of times I recommend that you lay them down on your surface, whether you've got a little silicone mat or just on my glass mat, which I have covered up with some paper, because you can see, maybe you can see over here where I was doing a little brushing with my blending brushes earlier. So these dies that are really flexible, like this little oval, it's pretty flexible. And when I just put it on my block, it may not lay like it should. It may not just stay in that nice oval shape. So it's good to lay it down, let it set for a couple seconds, make sure it's in the shape it needs to be, that you don't have it all wonky. Then put your block on top of it, just so that image is nice. So we've got that. And I have a piece of white. So let's stamp this. I'm thinking the peaceful pine will be okay. If we don't like it, we'll go with something else. All right. So I'm just going to ink up my stamp. Oh, that is wet. That is very inky. Let's stamp that. It's going to be nice and green and rich. Sure that saturates right into my paper. Very pretty. Got a couple little spots there, but that's okay. Not going to worry about it. All right, so then I just need to die cut that. And because I'm going to layer, well, actually, I could just, I might want to lift that up. Here was my thought. I could lift this piece up, use this one, and lift it up a little bit just for a little added texture and dimension. Or I can just cut this out and then stamp on the inside this little blurb. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, and then I'll decide what I'm going to put on the inside. I'm just going to cut this off so it fits in my machine a little bit better. And I'm not going to bring my stamp cut and emboss machine over as it's too big. Just going to line this up. Get that scallop looking good, and then I'm going to die cut this. Okay, here we are. Get all my pieces here. Okay. I did some rearranging again. It's a perpetual thing with me. And I have my die cutting machine right behind me now. Just a little bit different than what I'd had it before, and I think it works out great. So I think I'm going to do this, and I'm going to raise it up just to give it a little more pop up. I'm going to put some dimensionals on here. Okay, pop that on there, and then I can still see, I like that, I like it like that. Then I can also see that the little outline, and I like because it's kind of sketched on there, it's a little, it's not perfectly straight, so it's got little jags in it, in the little line there, if you can see that. So anyway, it looks really cool. And actually, yeah, so this is going to go on here, I think. Yeah, that will go on there. This is going to go in here, and then let's decorate it with some flowers. Let me move those over. Let's save that for another time. Now, why don't I color? I already have this one all colored, but I did the leaves really light with like soft sea foam and olive, so I think I want to recolor them more to go with this piece of paper. So let's get the Highland Heather. There's light, dark, and let's do a little bit of fresh freesia as well. The light and the dark fresh freesia. And then we need the peaceful pine for my leaves. All right, so I'm going to take my dark Highland Heather and just do a few little spots here. And I think I will also use, I may use a little bit of the new shimmer pen. There's not one in this color, so I could just use, oh gosh. Yep. Wink of Stella. Could just use Wink of Stella because there's not a hydrangea, or there's not a purple Highland. But a little bit of the Highland, or excuse me, oh my gosh, I'm getting my colors all mixed up. A little bit of the hydrangea might be kind of pretty on top of the purples, the Highland and freesia. We'll see. So then I'm going to do the lighter. Oh, that's the fresh freesia. I wanted the Highland Heather. Highland Heather. Doesn't matter. I'm going to put a little bit of the other one on there too, but let me grab that, and then I want light fresh freesia. The fresh freesia to me is a real light purpley pink. It's got a little pink tone to it as well. It's so pretty. I love all these colors. And then of course your violets, they don't have to be purple. You could do different little colors for your violets. Thanks, Lisa. Oh, let me turn off the ringer on this phone back here. I turned it on earlier because I had my air conditioner on and Frank wasn't in the house, so I had turned the ringer on and I don't want to hear it. Whoever it was is probably thinking, why did they hang up on? Why did they do that? And Frank's outside, so hopefully they'll leave a message if it was important. I love Peaceful Pine. This is such a pretty green. Do you guys all have the new in colors? I love them. I saw that somebody commented the other day. It was on another demonstrator site, and she was asking people's favorite color combinations or something, and a person chimed and said, anything but the new in colors. And I love these in colors. Oh, the hydrangea, the cantaloupe, the barely blush, golden glow, and peaceful pine. I love them. And actually, I love the other ones, the other color set that we have with the strawberry slush, duckling, timid tiger, cloud cover, and secret sea. I really like those as well. I like a lot of our colors. There's not really many that I don't like. Might be a few here and there, but not too many. There have been some over time that I haven't been super fond of, but let's just get a little tiny bit of the fresh freesia on there. I feel a sneeze. Excuse me. I felt that little sneeze coming. All right, now I'm a little bit worried about my leaves showing here, so I'm hoping with because I stamped the image in Peaceful Pine, so I'm hoping when I'm coloring with the Peaceful Pine, yeah, I can still see the veining. I don't know, I was worried it was going to be too subtle, but it's good. All right, colored this one. I was glad I had the opportunity, the time and stuff to get on here tonight. I'm leaving on Friday to go see my, actually I'm going to stay with both of my sons. My oldest and my youngest son both live in the same area in North Carolina, which is great for me when I go visiting because I can get to see both of them and the kids. So I'm going to see my youngest grandson first because I've only seen him right after he was born. And then we're going to go over and stay at my other son, the older son with the older boys. Go over there Sunday, spend the day, and then I fly home on Monday. So super excited. Can't wait to get my hands on that little baby. He's getting so big. He's still tiny, but he's just a little guy, but He's getting big. So cute. Daisy make it through without... Oh, I had to think about that, Dawn, because I have Daisy on the brain as in my granddaughter Daisy, and now I know yes, he did. Oh, that's so funny. Yes, all was well. Everybody did good. Thank you for thinking of them. That's funny. Okay. So isn't that pretty? I love it. And then that I think I'm going to put right here. I just love this little dot thing. This little stamp that just does the, that little dot, that little just whatever, grungy kind of image. I'm not sure what else to call. I don't know what you call that kind of stuff, but I think it's kind of cool. So I think this is going to get popped up on here with that in the background. I think is real pretty with that little happy birthday there. So let's pop these up. And I need some, I don't know if I have any mini dimensionals around. I don't see them. We'll just use the bigger ones. Now, I do want to see where this is going to lay so I don't get my dimensionals where they don't belong. I think I need to do a little cutting. There we go. Oh, and I'm going to need to use some of that beautiful ribbon. Happy birthday to you. Oh, that in itself is just really, really pretty. And you know what? I don't even mind that I got a couple little spots where the ink isn't there. I think it just makes it look, and maybe it's supposed to be that way because it did it, well, this one, I just did the stamping the first time, so it might have not been supposed to be intentional, but I kind of like with that on there. I just think it really adds a little something. So then this is going to sit on here. I'm going to adhere that. Let's see, I think we'll just use Stamp and Seal. This up here, and I'm putting it a little bit higher because this edge needs to tuck into that little front piece to make it stand up. All right, and let's get my little white piece to go on the inside. I thought I had some cut. Where did I put those white pieces? Not there. Not there. Somebody want to come look for me? Oh, here they are. I knew I cut some out. They're a little bit big. Actually, they were scraps I had left over. So I know that's 3 1/2. So I'm going to cut it to 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Oops, got a little rough edge there. Let's put that inside there. There we go. And you know what I should do? We've got a couple of these little cutie pies. Let's put a couple of those in there with a leaf. What do we think? We'll see. Let me look. You know what I could do? I could just cut that off of there. Put that in there. All right, we'll wait. Let me wait till I get this all put together and see what I need. All right, so now to assemble and add this little flat piece here, I'm going to kind of close up my card. Got my little square here, and I like it, I think, right about here. I think that's going to look good. And then I will put my little mechanism down here that it's going to slide into. I like that. Okay. I think that's going to work. All right, let's put, I'm going to get my Seal Plus to do this. Open that back up again. No, I'm not. I'm going to close it, and then I'm going to put it just like I had it. It was about 1/8 of an inch from the top of the designer paper and about 1/4 of an inch from the top of the card. Then it's going to go like this. So now we need our little mechanism piece here on the front to have this slide down under. So let's see, I've got some scraps of paper here. This might work. It's going to need to be even more narrow. That just seems long. Let me look. No, I guess, oh, I know why. Because it's not going to go all the way there. It's going to slide. That's why. I'm thinking, wow, that's way too long. But I want it to go right about here probably. So I can make my little sentiment or something down here if I want to. Or I could just add, oh, I think I know what I'm going to do. I think. So I want that. I'm just deciding if I need this to be any more narrow. I don't think I do. I'm going to keep this. And that piece of paper right there, I want. And I've got some right here. Let's measure this. I'm going to make it 1 inch wide. It's just about there. This was a scrap, so I'm just going to trim it and get that nice 1 inch. And then I'm going to make it about 4 inches, I think, long. And this is just random, so you know, you're going to do what you want to do on this front panel, but I'm just kind of playing. So then I'm going to do, because my white is 3/4, or 1 inch, I'm going to do 3/4 of an inch, and then 3 3/4 because it's 4 inches long. And I actually could have done that a little bit wider, but that's going to be okay. Happy birthday to you. Then that's going to lock in there, I think. Okay. So I'm making some of this up as I go along because your little front, I'm calling this a mechanism that's going to be on there. It's going to be popped up, and your front little flap is going to lock in there. So this you could do all different ways. Here I did a die cut. Now I'm just going to use this little strip of paper, and then I think I'll decorate it. So I'm just going to put my dimensional, and I'm going to use the edge off that little piece of dimensional that I've got there that's left over. And you don't want to put it up too far because, again, you want your mechanism to just slide under here. I'm just putting a little on the side and a little on the bottom. So then this will go on here. I'm just going to hold it for now. and then this is going to tuck under. So that's why I'm saying you don't want all your adhesive on there, just want like your bottom part. So depending on what you're putting on, be sure you leave enough space for your this front little flap to go down, tuck behind there and lock in to hold your card up. So let's put this right down there. I just want to be sure I get this centered pretty good. I just won't press it real tight. Oh yeah. So see, then that's going to lock in there like that and sit there so you can look at how pretty that is. So now I can give it a little press. Then I can decorate. How about this and a couple of the little violets. Oh, you know what? I should have put the ribbon around there. Oh, darn. I don't know if I can get that around there now. Darn it. Oh, I might be able to because I didn't put the adhesive all the way down. Now, we'll just tie a... We'll just do something different. Sorry, forgot to put that on there. I'll try to remember the next card. So let's put this over here. I've got the flower there. Let's put a little something right here. A couple of these little pretties. Just sort of winging it here. Thank you for hanging in with me while I wing it. I think I have another one of the pine leaves. That tucked up under there. Put these flowers on there. Let's do 3 because they're always prettier in 3s, right? Let's get another one. This one. There we go. So now that will lock down in there. Now let's put our pretty little gems on here. I know, isn't this beautiful paper? The peaceful pine and all those purples, yes, I agree. They're just really, really nice together. I just want to see what this will look like, if that's too much. Oh, actually, that's kind of pretty. Oh. Yeah. You know what? I think these are going to go, how about just off maybe, oh, I want to use these, but I'm not, I think they are just a little bit too much right on the flowers themselves. So let me play with that for a second. Let me think for a minute. But let's get some little gems that I could put right in the center of that flower. And how about... oh, how about the in color dots? And I'm going to put the Golden Glow, the small one, right here in the center. Oh, I like that so much better. But I'd like to find a place, and if I don't do it on this card, we'll do it on the other card, a place for those beautiful floral gems, because they are just so cute. All right, I think I like that better. I think my neighbor must be out mowing his mother's lawn. Here, a lot of activity out there. Okay, so I know it's hard to see, and also I need to do some burnishing. I don't think I did that very well. let's burnish this so it'll be nice and crisp and sit up there real good. There we go. Like that. There we go. Now it sits up so pretty. So I just think that's really cool. I love things that you can sit. Not that you can't just sit a card, because you can. You just sit your card and it's very pretty. But sometimes it's nice to do something just a little bit extra to really make a special statement, and people want to have it and show it off. So happy birthday to you. And then on the inside, let's cut apart this flower. I hate doing it, but I'm gonna go for it because I can make lots more of them. Let's just take that and we're gonna put that right there. Oh, I'm gonna cut that off. And I'm just gonna little glue dot that baby down. Now where'd my glue dots go? Okay, there. There. So there's that one. Pretty. So pretty. Write your little message. Send that off. It's going to require some extra postage because it's a little thick, but that's all right. It's worth it when you're sending somebody something so special. So I think the recipient would be very happy with that. All right, so there's that one. Now, I do have a piece of Secret Sea that I thought I would use, and I've got some fresh freesia. So let's do it in Secret Sea card base. And again, I'm going to score this whole thing because I can make 2 cards. So I'm going to score it at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. This one's going to go a little bit faster. 5 1/2. Put that over there. For my panel is going to be fresh freesia at 3 1/2 by 7, so I need to cut 1 1/2 off, and then half of that is 3 1/2 score. So there's my panel. So I've got my card base, I've got my panel, and then I thought I might do some extra layering on this one. So I'm going to cut another piece that is 4 by 5 1/4 because I'm going to layer. So instead of just putting the cardstock on the panel, I'm on the card base, I'm going to make another layer of cardstock, then my designer series paper. Okay, I'm going to do that. And then that means on the front I need 2 pieces that are 2 by 5 1/4. Another one is 2 by 5 1/4. I love this Secret Sea with the fresh freesia as well. So pretty. All right, so we've got those. Oh, and then I need my paper. I love this dark one, so I'm gonna play some more with that dark one because it's just really so beautiful. Let's see. And I think I'm gonna use that. All right. So now this, to go on this panel, which is 4 by 5 1/4, is going to be 3 3/4 by 5. I'm just going to work in 1/4 inch increments just to make it easier. So that'll go on there. And then I need 2 panels that are 1, okay, so this is 2, oh, this needed to be 1 7/8, sorry. 1 7/8. And then a quarter for that would be 1 5/8, right? I think, I hope, by 5 1/4 by 5. And if I'm wrong, we'll fix it. I think I'm right. Oh yeah. All right, so these are gonna go on here. I love the contrast. I think that's just so pretty. Okay, Linda, catch the replay. Thank you for watching. There's that one. And this one. Oh, and I was watching, so I was a part of Kevin Thiessen did his summer online retreat. I don't remember how many there were of us, 20-some demonstrators that participated in demonstrating for his retreat. And there was some, I think it was on there, there was some conversation, I'm sure it was Kevin was talking about glue and the squiggle. And I said, I'm a squiggler. I always have been. Some people dot, some people make straight lines. Everybody does something a little bit different with their glue. I'm a squiggler. I just thought it was funny when he said that. I was like, oh yeah, that's a good, yep, that's a good description of it. Squiggling. All right, there's that. We're gonna put this right here. Squiggle, squiggle, scribble, scribble. There were some awesome ideas, you guys, at the at Kevin's retreat. There was a lot of fun folds. So I saved, well, I have access to the whole thing because I was a participant, but I saved a bunch of them. Lisa Bailey she was a guest. She paid to attend, as well as Lisa Haight and Pat Robinson from my team. They were able to watch, so I'm sure they would agree there was some really amazing projects and ideas and some fabulous fun folds. I think I folded something wrong. It seems like my score lines are a little... Oh, yeah. I got something wrong on here. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. That, oh. There's half. That's quarter. Oh, I did it at 2 instead of 2 1/8. Oh, well. I've already got it glued, so I'm just going to make it work. But my scoring's just a little bit off. Oh, boy. All right. So, earlier, I was trying to think about what could I do that would be really clever with this. And I happened to think of the Everyday Arches dies. And I know I brought this up earlier in an earlier video or something, talked about these really cool dies. And I held off, and then I just couldn't stand it any longer. The designer paper is called Violet Dreams. Let me just get it out for you. It is called Violet Dreams 12 by 12 Specialty Designer Series Paper, item number 168186. And I'm not sure if you were on right at the beginning, Lisa Haight, but there's also these little 2 sheets of die cuts that are included in this pack of paper. Really cool. So there's flowers and different little images back there along with the pages of the paper. So what I was thinking, and I don't know if this is going to work. I gotta think about this a minute. It might not. All right, so I was going to put this on here. Oh, yeah, that's not going to work. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, it is. Oh, this is what I was going to do. Yes, now I remember. This is what I was going to do. I'm going to use the arches as my flap. What do you think? And then this will flip up. I think that'll be kind of cool. So my score's a little off, so it might be just a little bit, but it fits in there. So this arch was the, let me just put those little devils all right here. It was the third one in, and what I did was when I folded a piece of paper in half, and then I put the arch die on here, and I just left this half-inch area because I knew I couldn't have the whole length and fit in here. Plus I wanted this to be the fold. So I put the arch die on here, leave the fold without being cut. And now I have this flap like this. So I just thought it might be kind of cool. So I didn't need to cut this. We're going to go with the Peaceful Pine piece right here. And that will go like that, and then it will lock in down here. I think it's going to be kind of cool. I don't know, the green might be a little much. I really liked the idea. Now I'm kind of wishing I put, maybe I'll have to save it. Let me play with it. I want to do the arches. Let me play with that tomorrow. Or when I get back from vacation. Because I want to do that arch. That just looks so cool. But I think we're going to just do the square for now. Because I don't want to get all crazy. So we're going to do this. And let me... Now I need something to go on the front here. I think... Oh, where's that Peaceful Pine paper? That pretty paper. Okay, put it back in here. The Peaceful Pine. Which one did I cut? One of these is cut. This one. We're going to have all kinds of paper going on here, I think. Ooh. Oops. Oh. Oh my gosh. So sorry. Oh boy. That was crazy. It knocked my camera right into orbit. You know what? I think I'm going to cut that piece out. So that's 3.5. Let's do 3 1/4. Worst case scenario, don't like it. 3 1/4, 3 1/4. Boy, I really wanted to do that arch, but I think it's going to require a little more thinking on my part than just right now. Yeah. This one's going to be a little bit busy, but I like it. I think it's pretty. All right. Put this on here. That on there. Now, I was thinking I have some die cuts somewhere. What do I have in here? My little box of tricks in here. Oop. I know I have some little die cuts somewhere, but I don't know where they are, so let's hold those out. Let's wrap this around here before I forget. I'm all over the place with this one. Thanks for hanging in there, you guys. Appreciate it. This is such a beautiful suite of products to play with, and if you decide to get this or already have it, please share what you've done with it. I've got to do some more things with this suite. It's just, you know what, I don't like that. That bow was not very pretty. Oh, I think I'm just going to tie it a knot. There we go. That's better. And I will share the product suite information after I finish the video. And we need to cut this down to 3 1/4, 3 1/4. This inside. There we go. Okay. It's Stampin' Seal Plus. Have it centered. Yep. Actually, yeah, so when I get my little, you know what I could do? I don't have another big one. Nope, that won't work. Okay. Oh, we do have this. That one. That might be kind of pretty. Have it lock into that. Might be too big though. Sorry, I'm just seeing what I have. I know I had a bunch of stuff already cut out, and I tossed a few things off to the side because they were cluttering up my space. Oh, wait a minute. I might have something in here. Let's see. What's in this little treasure trove? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. That's a different suite. Nope, that's not going to work. Okay. Punch. Rounded rectangle punch. Let's just use that. Piece of white. Rounded rectangle. And let me find the stamp set that goes with it. Oh, shoot. Got that. Exciting times. That's cute. Let's do this with fresh freesia. So this Exciting Times stamp set, there's a punch that coordinates with it called the rounded rectangle punch, 167880. I like this punch. Again, set that down. So then you can outline your punched image. Isn't that pretty? That's cool. Then we will do Secret C. And while we have this out, I'm going to wipe that off, but I'm just going to set it on here for now. Let's do, get my other stamp set here. How about the Sending Love? That's really pretty. I think that'll fit. Yep, that's going to fit right in there nicely. Do that with Secret Sea. Ooh. This one was definitely a little on the fly here. But it's coming together okay, I think. So again, I don't want to go all the way up too far because I want to be able to slide my little piece underneath there, a little flap. Oh, darn it. I put it on the wrong end. That's what I get for hurrying. Now I have dimensional stuck to me. All right, let's get rid of that mess. Let's start over. Get the right end, Lori, right here. Oh, goodness. That's okay. It ended up all right. And then I'm going to put that right here. This can slide in there. And that looks real cute. And then we will put, how about, let's get one of the die cuts out of here. I'll find the sheets with the die cuts on them right here. And I think we're just gonna pop out some of these. And a couple leaves. There we go. Oop. Let's cut out another one of that oval. And put our flowers on that. I'm going to edge with the peaceful pine. Just kind of scruffed it. Flowers on dimensionals. Thank you guys for, again, I know I said it before, but I appreciate you hanging in or coming back and catching the replay. This is running a little bit longer than I normally try to do, but sometimes it just happens. I get carried away with my crafting, having way too much fun. And I think just that little leaf is going to go right up in there. And then I'll put some of those beautiful little gems on there. And actually, I'm not sure I'm going to use that after I've done that. I don't know if I like that. I think I'm going to leave it like it is, although this is really cute. Oh, you know what? I could put this on the inside. Yeah, I think that's going to go in there because this isn't going to lay real super flat anyway. So this is going to go on the inside. It kind of worked out. There. And then this is going to be like this, and then let's put some of these out here. These little beauties. There we go. Now I like that. Let's save those. So there's that one. That's cute. And then doing the little flower on the inside. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little easel card. Kind of fun, I think. Well, there's that one. Then we have this one with the Highland Heather and the Peaceful Pine. And this one I did with Bubble Bath, the Peaceful Pine, and the Secret Sea. So I'll take pictures of these and post them, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Take care. I will hopefully be back with you next week, but stay tuned. I will let you know. So enjoy your weekend, you guys. I know I'm going to. I'm going to get lots of little baby snuggles. So I will see everybody real soon. Take care.